Good afternoon. It's November 24th, 4 o'clock or 4:03. This is the Harlan Municipal Utilities Board of Trustees meeting. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is approval of agenda and any conflicts of interest.
I'll approve the agenda and any conflicts of interest.
Second?
Just a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. Sounds good. Moving on. Roll call vote, I guess.
Michelle, aye.
Reese, aye.
Jim, aye.
Item number 3, approval of the consent agenda, minutes of the November 10th, 2021 electronic board meeting, abstract of claims number 1201 in the amount of $733,787.59, and the upcoming board meetings, electronic board meeting on December 9th, 2021, and December 23rd, 2021 will be an in-person meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, all items listed under the consent agenda.
And Jim was going to abstain because he's not approved on any of the banking documents yet.
Okay,
So I abstain.
so I second.
So Randy seconds.
Michelle,
Roll
aye.
call vote.
Michelle, aye.
Reese, aye, and an abstention. Okay. Item number 4, electrical improvements for the raw water project. And the fact that the transformers are 50 to 60 week lead time, and you're looking for early approval for that.
Right, what we're looking at is in conjunction with the raw water development project, which deals with all the water distribution system, the new wells, et cetera. Then we have to power it, which is going to require an electrical improvement project down the well field. Right now, our electrical engineer is P&E, and what we're looking for basically is a preliminary approval to begin writing all the specifications so we get the transformers ordered out ahead of time, because we've found out there's a 50 to 60 week lead time. So we want to get a jump start on that, even though we haven't received any formal requests from P&E or anything else yet. And just in addition to the raw water project, just for the board's edification, there will also be 2 additional P&E proposals coming up. One is to finish up a few contingency items on the south end of town with regard to electric distribution. And then the other one is for a project for an assessment of the 69 kV line from here to Avoca. But this piece is just approval, formal approval for P&E to put together specifications for a project and also specifications for transformers so we can get those ordered.
Okay. How large are the transformers over there?
Dar, you know what size they're putting in down there?
I think they're running anywhere, there's gonna be some 25s, 50s, and then
Okay.
for most of the wells, I believe is what they are, so.
Okay. Nothing too enormous.
No.
they're-
So we're looking for a motion to go ahead and begin the process with P&E for the transformer specifications so we can get those ordered.
I just have a question if I may.
Sure.
Is this budgeted or is it?
No, this is not budgeted.
Okay.
No.
Any other discussion?
Good question.
Any motions, carry on, any questions?
Motion to approve the electrical improvements for the transformers to order them since it's going to take 50 to 60 weeks.
Okay. Second, I guess?
Yeah, so just quick question, just because I don't have budgetary authority, I can't vote,
No, you
nor should
can,
I.
you just can't approve any checks.
I got it.
You're not on the banking documents for checks yet, so everything else is okay.
Okay. Yeah, I second.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Michelle, aye.
Reese, aye.
Jim, aye.
Okay. Item 5, a discussion on continuing Zoom option for board meetings.
Yeah, we'd had this conversation a couple times over the last 6 months, whether or not to continue the Zoom option. It is a little easier to facilitate now that we have a newer computer that Jenny can use to facilitate Zoom. But I know the city, at least for the foreseeable future, is planning to continue with the Zoom option. You know, it is one more opportunity to make it available to customers, particularly those that aren't able to make it in person or that aren't on our cable system. So, seeing as how we've already subscribed to Zoom, how long does our current subscription go, Jenny? That's annual, isn't it?
It's annual, I don't remember the expiration date.
Yep.
So,
What's the drawback of continuing to do Zoom? Is there any drawback?
not really.
How many people join our Zoom meetings every month?
In the last few, it's been Troy Shaven, who is on the city council. And then once in a while, we will have, Mike Anlicker will dial in. But other than that, we usually don't have anybody, and nobody usually participates, they usually just watch and listen.
I know we had the engineers on one time during it, right?
Yeah, and we could still use that feature for engineers and consultants if they don't want to drive. That would be something
Or if we
else that,
get bad weather or something like that, so.
and that's, in that case, we would put it up on the big screen for them to
Have them
speak,
dial in to
but
make a presentation.
Yeah. The only minor drawback is the cost, and it's not that much, not that significant, so.
Well, we've never properly fitted the boardroom with the webcam and microphone speakers, which we would want to do. We'd probably be looking at a minimum of $2,500 for the equipment to do that.
yeah, the only drawback is when the people, like last week, Bob couldn't hear, it was all garbled. They couldn't even hear what was going on, they could only hear myself and Matt Hudson. So I guess that's just if the people dial in and they realize that, oh, it might not be working, then that's the chance that they take. Because I know one time we also had it where it was like 15 minutes into the meeting before we actually got the Zoom working, so. That would be the only
I guess
drawback
my only
for those
recommend-
calling in, but.
My only recommendation is with the current uncertainty with COVID and everything else, I don't see the downside to continuing it myself,
Yeah.
so.
I was gonna add, the one we have at City Hall, it's a little 360-degree camera. I bet it was less than $200 to outfit it, and everybody seems to be able to hear just fine.
Yep. And they got the one speaker,
Yeah,
so.
it was really not an issue at all.
So if we do a Zoom meeting, nobody gets $50, right? So there's, seriously, right? So it's actually a cost avoidance technically.
No, because like right now, we're doing Zoom with this meeting.
Oh, I see, it's an occurring or an accompanying activity.
Yeah, it's just to broaden that people don't have to come here.
We have a council member once in a while that is on vacation or can't be in town, is an out-of-town meeting, and they'll stop, pull over somewhere and Zoom in. So
I think in the past, year and a half or so, I don't know if Michelle was on or anything, but we've only had like 1 or 2 Zoom meetings on the board. That was when COVID was at its peak there.
Yeah, well, we've been doing Zoom meetings ever since probably March of last year.
But I mean, even where the board wasn't in place here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there was only 1 or 2 meetings that we didn't, the board members themselves didn't meet.
And we do on occasion have situations where board members are out of town and will call in or something, and so this, just another way to facilitate if somebody's out of town and still wants to attend, so participate, so. I just personally, for the minimum cost, I don't see a downside to continuing, at least for now, like I said, with COVID and all these other uncertainties right now, so.
Okay. Want to entertain a motion?
I entertain that we continue to Zoom our meetings.
So second that motion?
You need a vote on that then? Or just a continuation of it?
yeah, we don't really need a vote on it, it was just if you guys were gonna decide not to, I think Ken wanted the backing that
Okay,
it was,
then we'll just make it, we got a motion to continue.
so,
Okay.
okay.
Item number 6, informational items on the McClure bills, gas service line truck unit 2, IDNR.
Yeah, just a little bit of background on those, the McClures. We've got raw water, we've got testimony in the litigation case. Let's see, what was the third one, Dar?
Raw water system, the first one was the pressure filters.
Pressure filters, yeah, that was the third one, pressure filters. And then with regard to the gas truck, this has taken quite a bit of time. I think it took 6-7 months to get the truck and another few months to get the truck body. But we mainly just wanted the board to be aware of the cost. Did we get that set up in the back?
Yes, it's sitting out there.
If anybody's interested, we've got the truck sitting out in the truck base, so you can see where the money's going. But it's to be utilized primarily gas meter department. And it's got a boom on it, crane, all the attachments, work boxes. And the service crane body actually ended up costing more than the motor unit itself. So, but total cost was about $79,539, and it had been it was a budget item at $85,000. So
we save money.
And then we also have a truck unit number 7 that'll be. We hope to see that come in December. But both of these were carryovers from prior year budgets, but they were both budgeted. So.
Yeah, you'll see in your packets that it originally said Unit 7, and then Dar came up and said, no, that was Unit 2, so.
Yeah.
And then the item on the IDNR, we were notified October 22nd that the DNR has issued a revised permit decreasing the number of bacteria samples that we have to take. So that's what we do is we do the daily testing and everything else, and they're just reducing 1 bacteria sample. So a little bit simpler process now. So that's it on the IDNR. And then I'll hold the rest of my comments for my CEO's report.
Okay, and then we have in progress the lease agreement on the dark fiber between the library and...
That's still a carryover.
Okay.
You know, we're questioning the need even to have that right now because it's really between the library space and ICN. So that's only on there because it was a continuation from the previous meeting. So
Still a 200-page document.
yeah, roughly.
Okay, CEO's report.
Okay, a couple of things of interest. First of all, we were notified. We had originally made an application through SWIPCO and the Chamber for a $600,000 community development block grant in relation to our water project. And we were notified that we did not make the cut for the October award, and the next award will not be until probably the end of the first quarter of 2022. Our concern is that basically that holds everything up until second quarter of 2022 because the USDA won't close with that uncertainty, and so we can't move forward with our pipeline project, replacement project, or anything else that we were hoping to jump start on. And as much as we'd like to make another application for the $600,000, we believe that we don't want to stop the project, basically. We need to keep it moving forward. And so this is just an informational item that the USDA application will be for full amount, $4.5 million. And if we can find another mechanism down the road to try to apply for some grant money, maybe with this new infrastructure or Build Back Better or whatever ends up getting passed, we'll still pursue that. But as of right now, the $600,000 is not going to be in there. So we wanted to make the board aware of that. The other items, we had our all-hands meeting yesterday. Basically went through the agenda with the board. We had some kudos. One came in from Jonathan, or for Jonathan. He's done a great job for us getting everything updated on church services. He's back in the loop now, getting out to city council meetings and county board meetings and school board meetings and everything else. So just a kudo for Jonathan on that one. We had a kudos for Patty. A customer called, Patty had helped her father's, helped settle the utilities and stuff for this lady's father who had been ill, and so they just wanted to pass along kudos for Patty for accommodating that customer's specific needs. Dar has tendered his notice of retirement effective December 23rd. And so we just want to express our appreciation to Dar for all his years of dedication to HMU, and wish him the best in his retirement. He did give his notice, and so in conjunction with Dar's retirement, over the course of the next few weeks, we will be proposing various staffing options and such that we'll first discuss with the admin committee and then discuss with the full board as far as how we'll go forward on the staffing. Anniversary dates, Dean Gessert, his anniversary was November 30th, or is coming up November 30th, and he's been with us since 1989, so longevity, another customer. We have a new employee that's going to be starting on December 6th. Matthew Burney is going to be starting in our water department, so shout out to Matthew. We're welcoming him in as the latest HMU employee. The couple other notifications. We were notified by Disney ESPN that they're going to discontinue ESPN Classics, which we currently have on Channel 31. So, and then also by NBC Sports that they're going to discontinue Channel 34. So we just want to make the public aware that those are discontinuations by the programmers, not HMU. They're discontinuing those channels. So we'll be putting those notifications out to our customers in December.
They're, actually, they were able to get it on the bills, so that'll be going out this month, because they were delayed in billing
All right.
a little
So
bit.
it'll go out in both
Yep.
this month's and then again on the December bill, so they'll get two. And then a shout out to our employees in conjunction with the city, getting a lot of the Christmas tree lights up and decorations set up around town. So that we participate every year in that activity. We got a thank you from the American Cancer Society for a contribution that was made in support of their program. And then just a couple of last things. There's a new effort that's kind of been coming up in the municipal arena, and that is the idea of setting up a separate municipal energy utility to deal with all of the upcoming issues related to renewable energy, electric vehicles, hydrogen, and all the other renewables and alternatives that are coming about with all this new legislation. So I just want to give the board a heads up that I'll be putting some information out over the course of probably the next few months in that regard about considerations we might look at, how we're going to deal with all these upcoming things. And what the effort amounts to is, as we've talked about before, it's going to take a number of years to upgrade the entire grid across the country. And some question whether we can even afford to do it. So what's happening is communities, in particular municipal utilities, are starting to look in greater detail at this concept. It's been around for a while of microgrids, becoming a little bit more self-sustaining in our own little environment. So anyway, I'll be looking at that option and putting some information out to the board over the next few months in that regard about how we might pursue that, or at least take a look at it. And then finally, we had a new mailer that went out this week, and it's basically just an information piece out to our customers to let them know some of the things that we've been doing, some of the things that we've achieved over the years as a municipal utility. The focus being that our rates are very competitive. That's all based on a 2020 rate study that we had conducted. That rate study was based on published rates at that time. So, of course, that was a year and a half ago, so rates have probably changed in some situations, and others they've gone up. Anyway, the other part of it focuses on the fact, for example, on electric, HMU is a leader in renewable energy, as the majority of our wholesale power is received from hydroelectric generated off Missouri River dams. So we're already a leader in renewable energy. We've got things we've been working on for the water department since our well maintenance program started back in 17-18. Then we did the hydrological study in 2019, the resistivity testing in July 2020. And then, of course, in March of this year, we launched our raw water development project. So there's been a number of activities there. And in response to calls that we've been fielding from customers, and the city's also been receiving calls in relation to HMU's telecom utility, and that is HMU still has the premier fiber broadband network in the community. We serve every residence and every business in town. We cover the entire community, not just certain areas. And we also have the premier from the standpoint of what we believe is local coverage and other options. We are very competitively priced in the marketplace, and at this point in time, customers call, well, with the telecom election and everything else, you're still going to be around, what's the plans and everything else. So I just want to make the public aware at this time there's been no plans and no discussions of any sale of the telecom utility. So at least for the time being, we're moving forward. This is a very viable entity, and at least in the foreseeable future, it'll continue forward as a service to our customers in Harlan. So with that, I'll address any questions or any concerns.
Any questions, comments?
Yes, so I'm Nick, the new guy, right? So I just have a few questions. So the information that's being shared with the customers as it relates to what we've done, or what HMU has done, and where we sit is incredibly important. But how are we communicating things like anticipated destructive weather, and how are we working with the city on doing tabletops? Have we already talked through? Do we have a solid plan in place to address destructive weather? So that's item number one. And then the second is, how do we communicate, economic factors that could affect or will or anticipated to affect our customers, so that they're not becoming aware at the arrival of their bill that an economic factor beyond HMU's control is affecting them, and so that they can plan accordingly. We can provide resources for them, or point them at resources. So those are my two questions.
Sure, good questions. First of all, with regards to weather, we haven't done anything yet this year, but in the past we've done tabletop exercises with county EMS and also at the state level, particularly with the Iowa Homeland Security and also with the National Guard. With regard to ice storms, flood events, that type of thing. So those are conducted in conjunction with the city and the county on a regular basis annually. So we do try to address some of that through tabletop exercises already. The other thing, as far as economic factors, as we've done this year, when we're made aware of potential changes in pricing, particularly this year's gas prices, we went through a process of press release, notifications to our customers and their bills, social media, and that type of thing. So we do try to make as much in advance as we can notifications to our customers. And likewise, for customers who have trouble with their heating bills in the winter, we also do send out notifications to our customers about the heating systems and those types of things that are available. So we try every way we can, both through the media, press releases, through advertisements, through social media, updates to our website as much as we can.
Okay.
So, but we're always open to other suggestions. If other people, if people have a better idea how they think we might be it, we'll certainly take a look at it. So,
thank you.
The most recent gas prices that are going to be going up this winter, we've already sent out letters to all of our customers. It's been posted on social media. The newspaper did do an article after our last board meeting, I believe. And we send that to the newspaper, to the chamber, and to KNOD via email. How they redistribute that, we can't control, but we have all those avenues that we already reported that.
Yeah, I think it's obviously HMU cares and is being proactive. I think it's there are organizations out there that, well, they're philanthropic organizations that all seem to be operating disparately. How do you bring them together to say, sort of provide a holistic blanket, if you would, for folks that might be affected by economic factors. And instead of being HMU, that kind of, HMU provides the information, and then the philanthropic organizations or levers take care of them, as opposed to leaving it sort of, it's ultimately on the customer's responsibility to make that connection, but it's sort of a service push or pull type of question.
Most of what is coordinated in our local area and most of the regions in our area is, for example, we deal mostly through West Central Development. That's kind of our arm that we work through on a regular basis. As far as other agencies in the community, I know Shelby County Community Outreach has various programs that they use, and that's basically based on donations, that type of thing. We also have a voluntary program. It doesn't get a lot of attention, but it is one that we make available to our customers where they can make voluntary contributions through their bills, and that can be applied toward, heat assistance for people.
And that's called Project Share.
Yeah, Project Share, so.
And then there's also the lower income that we just had last month's meeting.
Yep.
On
Yep.
so
Yeah, he touched on that's the light heat and
yeah, light
the
and all
light
that,
walk.
so. And that's now for heating and
Heat and, they did have a
They
process for water.
They added water
Water
and
this
sewer,
year, yeah.
that's a 2-year program.
so. Any other discussion?
Did that answer?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just more on record, I think, is probably
Get
the
the
key.
information out?
Yep.
Any questions from the gallery?
I'd just like to
question.
I'd just like to thank the board for the opportunity for the last 25 years I've worked here and being able to advance in my career all the way through it. And I want to thank the people of Harlan for letting me work with them, and I enjoyed my time here and look forward to my new adventure.
Thank you, Dar.
Thank you.
And so I guess we won't see you at the next meeting.
That sounded to me like a sign off.
Yeah, I think that was. Good, thank you, Dar. No other items? I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Just have one item, we still have a meter reader opening, so if you know anybody out there, point them to our website, we have all the information out there. Hopefully we can get somebody in to apply and get another new employee.
Because that's how you started, right?
Yes, started as a meter, yes, correct.
Okay, see you in 25 years and be sitting where you are. But thank you and happy Thanksgiving. We're adjourned.